When you look up at the sky, the two brightest objects visible are the sun and the moon. In the Mesolithic period or the Stone Age, you'd find cultures worshipping the sun because they believed it provided life. It was almost as a thank you for melting all the ice, and finally farming would begin and population started to rise. The sun is the fire, masculine energy of self-consciousness. Although I don't like to use the feminine, masculine terms too much anymore. The sun is the more rational mind, while the moon is a more internal, receptive, irrational mind. The sun sign we're born into is our more active outer awareness, while the moon is more our subconscious, which I'll explain the moon in another video. The sun sign represents in astrology our individual ego. So the sun just shines, right? It does its thing. It doesn't care if you're hot or cold. The sun sign doesn't necessarily represent our personality, which is why you can share the same sun sign with many other people. But yet you share a similar outlook, direction. You share these like basic urges. Whatever sign archetype is represented by our sun, it shows our vitality, our long-term self-expression of this journey here on Earth, and essentially what we're pursuing. You tend to see people expressing their sun sign at a more developed adult stage in their life. When we're younger, we tend to act out our rising sign a lot more, which is the mask we wear as a sort of reflex response of our opinion of others and the world around us. While our moon sign, we tend to act out in our more comfortable domestic space. You might not see or recognize people's sun sign when meeting them off the bat. It's not until you get to know them a little bit more personally that you'll see it shine through. And then when you get to know them even more intimately, you'd see their moon sign. The patterns reflected by the sun sign, if you become aware of them, you will see repeated and repeated throughout time, which will guide one to more realized self. In Greek and Roman mythology, the sun is represented by Apollo, the god of light, a young man fulfilling prophecy. And prophecy is a key word because the characteristics of your sun, you have to look at them like your strengths, your superpowers, traits that we can develop to provide us with personal power. While the negative aspects or tendencies that our sun sign has can show the weaknesses that we can be prone to falling into, the traps and lessons we will learn. But if you begin to understand them, you can well be on your way to elevating your own consciousness. In astrology, polarities, opposites, really help us to understand an archetype. The sun rules over the warm-hearted sign of Leo, and its polarity sign is Aquarius, the cool, collective perspective, the detached, group-oriented, impersonal, intellectual approach to life. And Leo is the will and loving warmth that brings forth new life. Ironically, we are currently leaving the Piscean age and entering the Aquarian age, which also rules over technology and enlightenment. So there seems to be this sort of push and pull between losing our ego and becoming one with the world for the betterment of the world. But I personally believe that universality doesn't exclude individuality. Without love, there is no motivation for new life, no fuel for a being to operate. And well, I think you can connect that in a biology sense too. A weakened sun can give us a low self-esteem and no drive, while a heightened sun can give us self-confidence, a sense of purpose. a life force. The sun is a part of us that wants to take a picture of a moment we felt the most alive in this lifetime. In the Aquarian age, this will come about through redemption and mastery of the personality, rather than by crucifying it like in the Piscean age, which we're just leaving. In that transition, learning to heal and forgive and walk ourselves back home to source or self-love.